Yeah, good morning. This is Bang Bang Ray Hill. So a lot of people calling me Big Time Charlie Potatoes, so it's Big Time Charlie Potatoes Bang Bang Ray Hill. Good morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, we was talking, my pal Jesse went out last night for a little something to eat and talked about fighters and bits and pieces. And Roy Shaw's name came up, and I was talking to him about Roy. I was just saying about Roy that he'd been in Parkhurst, he'd been in Broadmoor. I mean, the guy was a gentleman, and he was a very, very hard man, mate. He was very dangerous, a very hard man. I know he was still a gentleman. When he talked to Roy, he very well spoken, very low speaker, didn't growl too much, but he looked at them eyes, mate, and them eyes, you knew straight away this man was a dangerous man. Yeah, his eyes was black, and you knew that he was a dangerous man. I had a lot of respect for Roy. Um, I mean, I'd like to have fought Roy, but in a roundabout way, no, I wouldn't have liked to have fought Roy because, as I say, I had no bad feelings with Roy at all, really. But he was the governor, one of the governors anyway at that time. Even though there wasn't really any governors, but I'm on about between him and Lenny, them two, the governors of each other. But I had a lot of respect for Roy as far as in prison. Everybody was petrified of him. Everybody in Parkhurst was petrified. He ruled Parkhurst when he was there. Broadmoor, he ruled there as well. He was a bit of a handful. I mean, the reason they sent him there was to jab him up, to keep him quiet, keep him down. Prison's a lot worse than Broadmoor, believe me. I mean, Broadmoor's still a prison, but prison's a lot more worse than a hospital, because the hospital, they can control you with drugs. In prison, they want to batter you and just give you drugs that they have no idea what they're doing to you. But other places they do, yeah. But as I say, I had a lot of stories about Roy taking doors off and smashing screws to pieces and bashing people up. Yeah, I had a lot of good stories about him. Fair play to him. He didn't stand no shit from anybody. Yeah, as I say, he's very, very quiet, very powerful, very dangerous, and black-eyed. You look at his eyes, mate. That was fighting life out of you. But I first met Roy with Joe Pole and Alex Steen down my mate's club, Wally Angus, little Wally club in Twickenham. I used to run the door, but at that time I wasn't running the door, and just went in to see some people in there. And Roy Shaw was in there with Alex Steen and Joe Pole, and I knew who he was straight away. I mean, his shoulders was like Alex Steen. Alex Steen had the widest shoulders you could ever possibly see in jackets. His shoulders wasn't that big, but he used to have his jackets that are like 2 foot each side. I mean, Alex Steen, dark glasses, very, very powerful mafia, mate. Alex Steen, very big time in the mafia. Joe Pole, same thing, big time mafia. Joe Pole, very powerful, very dangerous. Good fighter, Joe Pole. Good boxer, Joe Pole. I mean, he had a ring in his in a pub, but he was a good fighter, Joe Pole. Got a lot of respect for Joe Pole, but Joe Pole wasn't no easy. People thought he was, he was so quiet and this, that, and the other. Listen, Joe Pole was a very, very feared man and a very dangerous man. I know someone told me that Billy Blundell and Joe Pole didn't get on too well. Well, I can believe that. Because they both really had the same temperament. Anyway, yeah, Roy. I mean, I was down in Beckett with Roy. I was just seeing him sparring down there, seeing him sparring with Colombo, Steve Riches, and Steve Riches was just flying around the ring and clumping Roy Shaw around the head with his little karate chops and all that. And Roy really couldn't do no damage to Colombo, even though he tried his hardest. You know what I mean? Colombo's all running around and jab, and. I see him at Lloyd Waltham. I see him spar with Lloyd Waltham. Lloyd Waltham gave him a concussion. He hit Roy a few times, and Roy just shook his head, I thought, hold up, he's a bit lively, And then I was asked to get in the ring with Roy. He was throwing punches from the floor. I was with my brother Bobby, and Roy was throwing punches from the floor, hit me on the chin. My brother got a bit frightened. Come out of the ring, Dad. Come out of the ring. Sorry. come out the ring, Ray, come out the ring, Ray. I said, no, leave off. Anyway, eventually in the night to get out of the ring, because Roy was punishing me a bit in the belly and around the face. It didn't. Listen, all fighters. I know I said once before. Fighters that didn't have the knockout punches. We all got knockout punches, but Roy and Lenny the same. When they hit you, they hit you really hard, but it didn't. It was a knockout punches. I suppose what I'm saying to you. One punch, you couldn't knock you out with one punch. You had to be 2 or 3 punches to knock you out. Whereas certain fighters can hit you on the chin with one punch and knock you clean out. Yeah. But anyway, Roy hurt me a few times. Yeah. So I got out of the ring. I was with Jimmy Tibbet. Got out of the ring and then I was going back in the ring now and again with Roy, having a few sparring matches, and then it all come back. I was training really hard, running a lot, and I held my own with Roy. And yeah, but I like Roy. I really liked him. Someone told me that he killed someone in prison, I believe. Whether that's true, I don't know. Mind you, I can imagine he would. I was as bad as that. I mean, it isn't hard to kill someone in prison. Do you know what I mean? You want to kill about 100 people in prison at certain times. There's so many people in prisons that are complete, arseholes in certain ways. You know what I mean? And you do want to kill them. You know. But fair play to him if he did. He didn't get guilty on it or whatever. But fair play if he did. He's dead now. Rest in peace, Roy Shaw. But he was, as I said, he was a very, very dangerous man. And I'm not quite sure how true this is, but I'm sure people let me know in the comments. Before that, I used to see Roy Shaw run around Epping, around that area, Epping Forest area. He lived opposite a Jewish graveyard, I believe. When I used to go down to the motorway to come home, I used to go see my mate Mickey. I used to always go that way, down to the motorway. And I used to see Roy Shaw's house on the right-hand side. And he lived opposite as a graveyard. At some time it was a Jewish graveyard. And a couple of times I've seen Roy running around Epping. And as I say, it was impressive to look at, powerful man. Even when he ran, powerful man. He had calves, massive calves. And it was just big, strong man. Not big in height, 5'7", 5'8", but powerful, mate. His arms were powerful shoulders, yeah. And someone told me, I don't know how true it is, that he was looking after a club or at a club, and some guys got a bit lippy with him. Went outside. When Roy went outside, one stabbed him in the tummy, really bad. But I was also told that as the guy stabbed him in the stomach, Roy knocked this guy's spark out, yeah, knocked him out and really gave him a good hiding, yeah. But the guy stabbed him in the stomach, took half his stomach out, I believe. They reckon it's part of his stomach was falling out. Whether that's true, I suppose people in my comments will let me know. Anyway, it's just a quick podcast about Roy Shaw, and rest in peace, mate. And I liked him, mate. I did like Roy. I liked the way he talked, very well spoken. Very low spoken and very dangerous man, powerful man. And anyway, rest in peace, Roy Shaw. Take care, everybody that knows Roy Shaw and his son. Yeah, bye bye.